Cape. We a little bit late today, but that's okay because I don't go live every day, baby. I go live when I feel like I want to go live, okay? And this is what y'all doing. Loyalty, how are you? Danette Barnes, how you guys doing? Loyalty, Luke, Sylvia, what's up, Sylvia? This is the auntie. We over here finna we finna sound off because y'all know this is how we unlock trauma, baby. We don't store stuff in. We don't judge. We don't play games. But come on over here and take a virtual seat. Connie, how you doing, sweetheart? Luke, thank you for the follow. One of the things we don't do over here, you know, I'm one to tell y'all, we over here, we could talk smack and relax. We could sit up here and beat down each other. We can go over here and philosophize on whether this was entertainment on the halftime or whatever lens of life you come in, that's your truth. I'm not here for the fools. I'm going to just be straight up and straight out with you. My name is Tasha, the founder of Talk to Tasha. I've taken my love. The good Lord has allowed me to take my love for social work and mental health therapy to the online streets. I serve those who serve everybody and their mama. Okay, equipping y'all to stop working yourself to death so you can start living your life like it's golden. Whatever your golden is, baby, that's up to you. That's between you and God. But for some of us that was born in the 70s, that got a little bit of sense right now because we done been through some stuff, we understand. We understand. I'm not looking for the person that always want to be right because I'm not always right. But some of y'all, we getting beside ourselves. Some of y'all letting these people get y'all worked up. Some of y'all is understanding the assignment. While some of y'all just want to be successfully wrong. Now, let me just tell y'all, because some of y'all wasn't born. Some of us wasn't born during the Watts Right. Right? We heard about our grandfather and them. They chicken farms and all of that was burnt down. There was no FEMA. There was no file an insurance claim and come back and rebuild it brand new. It wasn't none of that. They had to build all the way down. So some of us got lived experience. And y'all know some of y'all ain't got time to go visit your grandmama now. You only pulling up on your grandma when she finna do them dressings and greens and yams and stuff at Thanksgiving. See, so this is what happened. Some of y'all, let me break it down. I'm not here for you to be on my side, baby. I bring my own amens. Okay? You got to be at a point in your life where you got your own amens. Because we're not here for the fools. Fools speak because they want to say something. Wisdom speak because she has something to say. Wisdom speak with the Holy Spirit give you something to say to thus the people. Okay? So for anybody that's on here and you want to be entertained, you have a right to want to get entertained. You have every right. You have every right to have your viewpoints about everything. But the problem is, if you move your life based on what you believe people need to bring to you, then you live in a very narrow view of life. Because don't nobody have to rock to the rhythm and the beat that you set forth. That's why the most gangsters out here, I was raised from some gang with some straight gangsters. Straight gangsters was not on social media. Straight gangsters, the social media wasn't even what it was. But I can tell you right now, some OGs is not on social media acting a fool. Keyboard gangsters, you probably wasn't asleep in history class. So the message went over your head. It's nothing bad unless you make it that way. See, it's various messages going on at one time. The person that want to sit down and say, hey, when we in the middle of the game, it's entertainment for us at the time. We hype West Coast people just thugging it up. Hey, right? In the middle of the dancing and two-stepping, a lot of us didn't get the message when it was live in our face because we was busy getting the kids together, the bounce houses, barbecue, you braiding grandmama hair, right? You over here getting the barbecue, the corn on the cob. You just hear the beat for what it is, right? That's one set of people. That was me. I had the grandson birthday party, the Super Bowl all in one, greeting people, getting the table set up. So in the moment of it, I can't tell you that I was listening to lyrically what was going on, right? Thank God for replays, right? That's one set of people. And then there's some set of people, some of y'all gifted. You have the gifting of, like my husband and his family and some of my kids. They got the gift of music and lyrically gifted. So they got an ear for music and lyrics, not even the instrumentals. They can hear it while they frying fish and chicken because that's their gifting. So in the midst of all of that, they can hear the spoken and unspoken. That's another set of people, right? Hey, Beverly. And then you have people that I'm not a deep person. I'm an avoidant human being, meaning give me a lesson. I don't want it. These are the people, y'all like me. You went to history class. It was boring. Why is it boring? Because you didn't understand it. That was me. If the history wasn't a life application experience for me, I'm going to sleep. But if you give me a history lesson that I can feel like this, same for y'all that's going on your spiritual journeys, right? Y'all sit in Sunday service. If the message is over your head, you feel like it's not clicking. Hey, Sister Karen. So now you saying, you know what? Let me go ahead and give me a life application Bible. You didn't know about a life application Bible until you start networking and fellowshipping with people. And you saying, look, getting the word for me is a little bit more complex. I need some tools to help me learn it. So now you looking at people that's spiritually inclined and you saying, sis, help me break these scriptures down because I want to learn it, but it's over my head. So now you have someone that you trust and support their feedback. And they say, sis, go get this Women Life Study Bible, right? So that's that set of people. They want the information, but they just don't know how. They want the information, but they just don't know how. So what I see people doing is biting people head off because they didn't get the lesson. They want it and they don't. You got fools that just want to be entertained. They don't want nothing. You cannot argue with a fool. If you try to argue with a fool, you the one getting played and getting distracted. People can vote who they want to vote for. Baby, they can lay up with who they want to lay up with. Baby, they can cook their biscuits like they cook them. They can fast off biscuits. Baby, they can be vegan. They can do all of them things. But people that's not foundationally rooted, you start bullying people online. Somebody dropped you when you was little and didn't cuddle you in the way that you need to be cuddled. And now you holding the world hostage because these people done had meetings and made apps for you to act a fool. And it's called an adult tantrum. We're not looking for you because you fall under the category over here in my lens as a whole fool. Some of y'all won't get up and do nothing until your back is up against the wall. I have some fools talking about what he didn't get paid. You a fool. And I'm gonna tell you straight up to your face. You trying to deal with and trying to, have something to argue about all the time. That's the nature in which a fool operates. Hey, Tatted Beauty. A fool is always looking for conflict. You got to be wise enough not to step into that trap. It's not a matter if you got it or not. Baby, I didn't get it in live moment. I was over there cooking and dealing with the kids in the bounce houses and all of the barbecue and making sure we got aluminum foil and all of that. But when you respect people and people that you respect with information, that's not no random person online. Do you got some wise people that's spiritually inclined in your phone by now? And they know your core values to say, oh, you know what, Tasha, go back and listen to that and come back and tell me what you got from it. I already told everybody. I already knew, like I knew the energy of this young man. He's a wise young man. I said before even things popped off, before they say, oh boy, 47 was finna be in the room. I already understood the message in which God is using him. Like literally, I knew, and this is what I said. Anybody who know me know that I said this. I said, he finna spit in people's face and they not gonna even know that they being spit on. I said what I said. I said he is finna spit on people because look at the climate of our country. People who looking for discord, people who looking for conflict, people who's looking to like universally categorize all white people this way, all black people this way, all Asian people this way. There's no peace in that. There's no peace in that. So a fool is always going to look for conflict. A fool is going to always push the whole narrative of confusion. They are. I have white friends that was raised on the other side of the track. We took them in the PJs and brought them in. Do you know what it's like to be a black person? I have people that have interracial grandkids now. And they say, wow, I have an interracial grandson now. So now my awareness is a little bit more in depth about what y'all go through based on what I go through with my grandchild. And even with that, y'all got to understand a black experience cannot be taught. You can't teach this blackness, baby. It's not even one thing, baby. It's lived experience. It's some things you can't put words to. So for some of y'all online fighting the wrong fight, trying to explain your blackness, and you wonder why you tired ain't start that business yet and waiting on homeboy to grab an ink pen for something else, that's what the enemy wants. He wants you stuck like Chuck. When you can speak in volumes and code, which I've been telling y'all that for years, people telling you how to talk, sending you to speak. I went through all of that. When the Lord end up healing you and breaking you down to the ground and telling you, look, I have made you wonderfully in my sight. Whether you tall, fat, skinny, or in between, you a disruptor. So a disruptor, sometimes you're going to feel lonely to the side. That young man was told that he was short. He was quiet, introvert, extrovert, convert, and God is using him. Hey, Alicia. So I'm telling y'all, do not entertain the thoughts of a fool. A fool don't want education. For the rest of y'all like me, you went back and you said, hey, wow, I knew he was finna spit in the face. Like he's spitting. And for some of y'all that go Google and research every other thing you want to know, but you here for the kicks and giggles, we are in spiritual warfare. This is not a game. He could have got up there and smoked some Black and Miles and got some little what you call that, sponsorships, and make money off the vulnerabilities of people. He could have did all of that, but he's integrous. And you can't sit up here and be like, I wasn't born during Watts riots. I came down in the 70s, 72. But if somebody sit there and told me, hey, this is what it was, and you waiting on the school system to teach us about just Dr. King, Dr. Martin Luther King, and Rosa Parks, and keep it at that. And you know that your mama, your auntie, somebody in your family right now got lived experience. You could pull up on their house right now, but you so busy you don't have time because you rather have kicks and giggles. We are not monkeys out here jumping around trying to entertain folks. And that was a right situation at the right moment at the right time. Those who get it, and those who want to get it, you know how to go ask some follow-up questions like you do for everything else. We're not here to say you're supposed to know it all and catch it in the moment when you're kicking it. Give a dog a bone and fetch theory and philosophy. Most people do. So sad. Come on, Mike Martin. Just come in. The first thing we have to do is stop teaching white imperialism philosophy. There you go. Brother Mike is on here saying, just coming in. The first thing we have to do is stop teaching white imperialism philosophy. Come on, Brother Mike. And I'm saying we are Black history. You history whether you're doing something or not. You getting high off your own supply. Y'all, history class, this young man is everybody's favorite and worst history teacher, depending on how you get it. So some of y'all that sat in history class and didn't like it like I did and went to sleep, but that other person took all the notes and you need to pass the test and you pulling up on Brother Mike for his notes. And God is saying, now, Brother Mike notes ain't going to work for the call I have on you. You got to be in class for yourself right now. But now you don't want it. Because why? You got to put your head down to the grind. You got to overcome your fears. You got to quit allowing these, what he's talking about, the imperialism philosophies, to drive the narrative. Y'all see what's going on when we put our collective power together. Some of y'all reporting back, you know what, now that I think about it, I don't need all of that stuff that I was giving down to Target. I don't need all of that stuff I was giving down to these other places. Now you're starting to go where you celebrate it, not where you tolerate it. It's discipline. God is disciplining us. Class always been in session. And you know the powerful thing, if you show up to do the work, are you willing to show up to do and say whatever it is God telling you to do, even when it's not popular, even when you don't get the likes, even when you don't get the shares? Hey, Shorty. Thank you so much, Shorty. Greetings to you, Sister Shorty. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. And for some of y'all exerting your energy trying to teach stuff to the fool that don't want it, stop exhausting yourself. Well, I want to break down what he said. Why are you exerting yourself to a fool that just told you they don't want it? You lean into the ones that saying, you know what, I slept in history class. I wasn't born during the Watts riots and all of the other stuff, but this is starting to make sense to me. Let me go enroll in Brother Martin's class and have him give me the steps on how I can learn, and not just learn just to be learning, so I can execute bold authority that God put in my life. Oh, baby, we resourceful people. Don't come with me with that. You're going to go find what you want to find when you have vested interest in it. The problem is, if we sitting up here entertaining circuses as a lifestyle, ain't been up, got off the front porch of life yet, there you have it. Go ahead on, Brother Martin. Brother Martin says, stop casting your pearls among swine. He loved God and discipline, yes. Go ahead on. Stop casting your pearls among swine. Did y'all watch K-Dot's documentary where it kind of like one of his teachers at the school really said he was really shy and he was in his class and he called him? He said, well, you know, I'm finna do this, that, and the third. So he got wise counsel in his ear from his school still. And this is what I was told on the journey by one of my professors back in the day. You don't never dummy down what the Lord put in you to speak to the people because you believe that they won't understand it. People got to learn up. And what y'all go watch it on Netflix. Is it on Netflix or Tulu or Humu? It's the documentary of his teacher. He said he was always writing. The littlest one, like always writing, quiet to himself. And for y'all over, I'm an introvert. I can't do it. I don't really talk and got a big loud mouth like you. Child, let me put this in here. Child, and y'all don't cut that mess out. If y'all don't cut that mess out, you don't convince yourself because you have a unique way of being and doing that somehow you're not being used. You're not worthy. Where did you get that from? Go back and visit it and let's work through it. Because at the end, how many of y'all see us supporting each other more? God is getting the glory out of everything. We're not panicking. We're powering up. We're not talking about the fools. We just established that. Y'all got to get y'all egos in check because you're right. You fighting wrong battles. We're in spiritual warfare and our weapon is what? Prayer. When you on assignment by God, hey, Latoya, when you on assignment, you're just on assignment. You don't get to pick if the weather is great and your pedicure is done and you got your six pack or whatever, all of the things you tell yourself you got to do before you show up. We don't show up with our armor halfway buckled up, sweetheart. I hear people say life is a roller coaster. I don't think it's a roller coaster, because roller coaster has some level of entertainment. And a roller coaster, you made a conscious decision to stand in a long line to get in the roller coaster, to buckle down. And then there's an end to it where you get off. You get scared for a little bit, and then you get off. What are you standing in? What's your keeping power looking like? Are you stepping out because it's raining? Are you riding it truly till the wheels fall off? And see, the sad part is you become a hoarder of good information and the execution of nothing when you sit up here and entertain the thoughts of a fool. Y'all really believe that y'all gonna praise Trump as if he can wake himself up every day? Is that what we doing? We giving so much attention to a needy person. This type of spirit feeds off attention. So that's working for him. God is going to get hey, Tabitha, God is going to get the final say. Hey, Queen Chrissy and Sable and Ella and Linda. A lot of y'all uncomfortable in them little jobs. And we ain't going to minimize it, Deborah. Hey, how you doing, sweetheart? Thank you for the gifts. Mike over here dropping all kind of nuggets. Hold on, Mike. Check me out. Wait, check me out. Public speaker and got my own radio show and podcast. Come on, Mike. We are the original people. We are beginning of civilization and humanity. Check me out on Public Speaker and got my own radio show and podcast. Praise God, a unified body coming together. Can you feel it, Brother Mike? Y'all hear what Brother Mike's saying? The Lord then gave him a platform where he has his own radio show. He has his podcast. He's not waiting on the people to hire him. The Lord saw fit for me to go work in them old raggedy system. The system was never designed to raise our children and our families. It's called child welfare for a reason. I had to be in there. I had to be inside the gated community called the prison, only to find out who the real inmates were. Understanding that they're taking the black jobs. The immigrants taking the black jobs. Oh, really? Oh, because you want to send them over there, but except for the ones at your address. Except for the ones that get their clearances and build the houses for us over here. And the same city officials that know that they here building our homes. They're getting the permits as contractors to build the home you laying up in right now. And the city got to pull up with their truck as they building your home in every stage of the development to make sure that it's meeting the checks and balances. Don't nobody see the licensed contractor from here out there, really. They're going to show up with the clipboard in a nice truck. But the undocumented people is getting it in. So don't come with me with that. Don't play games. The world is a mess right now, but you don't have to be. Ain't no way. And it's time out for y'all black folks just giving stuff out. It's a time to give. It's a time to reap. It's a time to level up. It's a time to rest. You're not going to get the blueprint from me. You got to go to God for yourself. That way I don't be pushing my agenda on you, well-intended and all, but if the Lord telling you to rest right now and the rest of the world telling you to get up, you getting tossed to and fro. Trying to bypass being judged. I don't know what that's all about. You better get it together. Because class always been in session. Y'all know I ain't going by Big Mama's. She gonna hold me up for 2 hours with the same old story because she know you got adult ADHD and you need it 5 times, 10 times when you get it. How about that? Always in a rush. Come Thanksgiving, you got time for her so she could go ahead and cook for you. Never got the recipe. Now she gone. What are you doing? Complaining about the soul food restaurant place. Well, why you didn't learn it for yourself? See, we talk a good game. But now we're starting to see how powerful we are together where this young man can honestly say, the Lord has equipped me as a public speaker. He has his own radio show and a podcast without making it feel like he bragging. Because he's free. What are you sitting on? We're not here to try to give people to see, this is what I'm telling y'all, sweetheart. The enemy wants to exhaust you. Anybody that slept in history class and you never knew that you could be asleep with your eyes wide open. Sleep with your eyes wide open is what we're doing when we're dealing with fools. Quit entertaining fools. Don't throw your pearls to swine. Let them be successfully wrong if that's how they get down. That has nothing to do with you unless you make it about you. Some conversations as Black people, we're not going to be wide open on the internet streets. It's some conversations need to be had offline, period. I don't care about a like. That's the problem. You're giving out too much game. Just like they having meetings about buying all of this property with zero down with a jacked up credit score that they not giving to you because they having meetings offline. But you wide open with it. For the like. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Are you willing to ride across town to patronize your sister and your brother business? You telling everybody how you getting your stuff off of Shein and Two Moves and stuff? Are you getting a percentage off of that? Are you getting a percentage off of that? Oh, but you running all kind of business to these people. Well, I'm going to Cynthia Logan. She got the baddest tea in town. We going over. She across town and it's raining. It does not matter. I want to see Cynthia blow up her business to the point that she got summer jobs for our kids, where she have all kind of different things all over. You got to build up your repertoire to where you a part of building kingdom. And if that be this inconvenience to you, if that's what it's going to cost. Because the person that's woke with their eyes open and not closed, they understand the sacrifice. The work is going to have to cause you to be inconvenienced. And y'all know we all get comfortable. I ain't going to sit up here and tell you that I don't get comfortable and get lazy. Call a spade a spade. But y'all got to understand, how can these kids vibrate and believe they anything? And you pushing that same limitation at the house. The angry mom, the angry dad, always fussing and fighting. What is you mad for? Why is you always mad and angry and bitter? Why? I know why a lot of y'all put too many superficial pressures on yourself. Why are you putting that much pressure on yourself, sweetheart? Why are you hiding and going through secretly? The man that done dropped the whole blueprint. Are you tapped into your local NAACP? Are you tapped into your Black Chamber if it's active in your community? Let's take it all the way down to the address. Are you tapped into wise counsel in your family? Don't go jumping in and rolling in membership just on the strength, because skin folks ain't always kin folks. We know that already. We know that already. Now, I was sitting up here minding my sweet little business one day, lady C89 in Roslyn, and peace and love too. Thank you for the follow, Nicole. I was minding my own little sweet business down at the bank. Some of y'all know about them paper checks, baby. You still got to write your name on the back and all that, baby. I ain't got, listen, I'm not going to scan it to a phone and have it do, that's just me. That works for T. What works for you works for you. But I'm sitting up there, baby. I got my pen. Y'all know you being real deep thought when you going down there to pay them bills. Baby, you got that pen. You on the thing. I'm trying to sign the back of my check, friends. All of a sudden, The radio in the bank is on. Is that what you call it, Lakeisha, forever? A radio in the bank came on, Geraldine. Child, it had some music that I don't need, baby, I don't know. It was inappropriate. Inappropriate. I wouldn't even listen to it. Some song, rap song, whatever. I can't tell you if the artist was black or white. Don't even miss the whole point. The point is, there was a time for some of y'all OGs in here. Hey, niece, there was a time, Sister Rosa, that they would tell us positive vibes. That our music was pushing all of this V word and ending with the E word. And it was just treacherous. Child. What y'all hear at the banks now? How many of y'all have been kicking it in your living room, laid up in your bed watching TV, and a car commercial come on, and they got some of the rap music on the commercial? All at the bank, they got music playing that make you be like, "Am I at the bank?" So what are we saying here? This is what Kendrick Lamar is really conveying to you guys, and he did it so craftily. The power to check people, and they don't even know they're being checked. That's how we was raised. And God is saying, like, there's a time to be quiet. There's a time to speak. And it's enough about speaking. More about now, what are you going to do what I told you to do? Because what I'm saying to you, anything historically that we have created is a problem until they can get their hands into it and commercialize it and capitalize off of it. Now it's worthy to be in the bank. Now it's worthy to make it to mainstream commercials. Y'all understand this? Like, some of y'all move too fast that you don't get the lessons. Go Eagles. Yay, you watched the game. I'm glad your team won. I'm glad that people got together over, with family and friends or people you love and respect, had good food, hopefully. Just had an amazing time. Hope you integrated the little people with the big people and had a good time. I know nothing about football, but I love what it brings for me because I'm a community person. Kids on their big wheels, tetherball, uncles moving their cars around the corner so they can bring the basketball court out. Brown, black, white, all on the street, just having a good time. Potlucking. You bring the corn on the cob. This one got the ribs. People bringing their food a couple of days early so we can marinate it, right? Talking smack, relax, dominoes. Nobody assuming that all white people is this, all black people are that. But we do understand the power of our collective power. Some of y'all dealing with a lot of things at that job because it's time for you to go up higher, as Sister Tina and her ministry is really, educating us on. You're at that job for a reason, and you believe you just gonna sit in that cubicle and allow some things to go on when you're called to be a disruptor in that space. You've watched it long enough. Now it's time for you to get the ring. Hey, Sister Monique and Brother Kevin. So now we're starting to come together. Some of y'all starting to come out and stop hiding what it is that you have. Like brother over here saying, hey, this is my podcast, right? You don't have time for the job to become this culturally reflective entity to say that I'm worthy. When the whole thing is, this is why you see people, anything that we create, the whole attempt. Why do you think about it? Mainstream media, they struggling right now because people don't get their dues from the regular media no more. They get it from radio and social media. So if they could come over here and say Lady T and Edward and Judy and Joseph and all of them getting along, giving out toys for tots and doing all of these wonderful things for the community. Y'all know how many people giving like on different levels? That's not going to make it to the news. Because they're going to push, and this is what Kendrick Lamar was getting at. Like, this is not what he was speaking about. And he used that platform was amazing. It's powerful when you can spit and the person don't know they got hit until after the fact. That's even if they get it. We're not talking about you sleeping in history class, because some of us, that's not our superpower. But there is opportunity and space for growth if that's what you're leaning into. You can't sit up here and tell people like, oh, that's a shame you slept on it. Baby, people's in the midst of cooking and eating and everything else. And even if you was fully present in the moment and you're not keen to that, that's fine too. We're not saying that. That's not the whole thing. You can't tell people that they're good at political science and, you know, Black history and American history and politics. Some people don't know Congress, Senate. They don't know how they work. That's just something they couldn't stand. Like they can get somebody else to do the homework. Right? But you have enough people in your community, various resources to help you grow in that area. Why? Because you're required to now, because you're a parent. I hope you're not leaving that level of education to the people at the school system that don't care two licks. Historically, we know that by now. We know that by now. So I'm going to go down through what I picked up, and we can have those talking points. But remember, do not overexert and exhaust yourself with foods. That's just the bottom line. And I have a really, and so anybody just love being Black. Like I like everything. It's exhausting being a Black woman at times. But when God called you from your mother's womb, he knew, he orchestrated your divine purpose. And you got to know that. You have to know that. So I'm going to share with you guys what really resonated with me. Again, we're not here to philosophize. We're not here to say you wrong and I'm right. We're not here to tell you to cook your cornbread like I cook mine. And if you don't use, cornmeal and you use Jiffy, that you did wrong. We're not here for that. I attract disruptors that don't know that they're a disruptor yet, called Care Bears. She's the go-to chick of the family and the community, and sometimes she forgets to go forward for herself. So whenever we are in this space together, we talk and commune and fellowship with one another on a different level, because she's a community person and she is not working herself to death and exhausting herself and entertaining the thoughts of a fool, right? She's intentional with her gift, right? She's healing from people pleasing and the loose boundaries that make her believe that she's supposed to be the matriarch, and a matriarch got to have high blood pressure and swollen ankles, putting out fires. She's not doing it that way now. She's doing it God's way. And she's mature enough in Christ by now to know that the disruptor have to do it, just like you seen Kendrick Lamar. I'm going to do it and use that platform where the world has their ears open to drop a message for a time such as this. To the people that say stuff boring, that's their truth. I'm not going to even say, I guess I can say, because we all can relate to having a narrow mind when it's something that we don't understand. It's not necessarily negative, not necessarily positive. It is what it is. If you historically used to, glitter and half-naked people and all of the things, and you just want to vibe because you got your little beer bar open and that's what tickles your fancy, that's understandable. So we can't be out here asking questions, telling people to keep it 100, but if they 100 don't work with yours, now you want to start fighting. That's the spirit of the enemy, like bringing distraction. Don't ask people questions and you can't handle their truth. In all classiness in Christ, you understand that their truth don't have nothing to do with you unless you set it up that way. Same thing for some of y'all that's really allowing a lot of stuff pop off historically in your life. You allowing that job to bully you to the point. People telling you have a right to go to Department of Labor Affairs. I don't want to do that because, well, you got a right to do that, just like the person have a right not to listen to that anymore. They're giving you all that they have. You either activate it and move forward with the resources and tools, or you don't. That's just the bottom line. And that is how we are moving forward in unity. We are talking. People are starting to network. And I pray that it's not just a trend, it's a lifestyle. So one of the sisters, one of the doctors in our area, she posted a post about the context. This context that I'm reading and we're talking about, this is not for a fool. And to know a fool is one narrow thought, and they believe everything revolves around what they believe. A fool is argumentative and combative. A fool is unstable in his or her ways. A fool want to be successfully wrong as a lifestyle. A fool just want a fool speaks because they want to say something. No thought, no afterthought, no forethought. A fool is still on Similac spiritually. A fool is still on that Gerber baby food, even though it was recalled. They moving so fast that they miss the message that they eating spoiled stuff on every level. A fool go date another fool and have fool babies. And hence the generational breakdown continues for a fool. So this is not for the fools. Govern your definition accordingly. Care Bears, this is what we're doing. Giving people back their responsibility. You're going to have to think for yourself, sweetheart. You get to interpret life the way you want to and deal and eat the consequences just like you and I. I'm going to read what really resonated with me. And you guys, I will give, if y'all subscribers, you get to come up first. I'm not dealing with fools. I'm going to tell you right now, I am going to disrupt the program of a fool just because I'm feeling like doing that today. Because some of y'all wasn't raised right. You're not finna come in here and cuss, fight, argue, and all of that. We're not doing that. So if you hiding behind a profile that think you finna get over, you gonna mess around and get delivered, or you finna fall back is what's about to happen. Because Miss Jones is not playing. People are over here suffering with college degrees or not, trying to make ends meet up together. We don't have time to entertain the thoughts of a fool, period. You could go somewhere else with that. Now, for some of y'all, like a lot of people that's saying, you know what? I was in the moment. I don't really know what that means. I wasn't born during the times where grandmama and them, mama and them talked about. What does this really mean? Now you in a season of history class, Black History Reimagined. Black History class reimagined. You don't have to go to UC Davis or CSUs to get it. Now you're starting to listen and go spend time with people in your family that know a little something. Because the worst thing you can do is sit up here and to believe the things that's going on. Hey, Chrissy Watson, the worst thing that you can do is sit up here and believe that what's going on right now is something foreign, that is something new. That's disrespectful to culture, to your grandmama now. So one of the things that I'm going to share is one of the doctors in our area, she put a post out that somebody that broke everything down. That's for the person that want to hear it, want to converse about it, right? You can have your thoughts, but don't you come up in here telling the next person they wrong and trying to bite people's heads off and trying to be ignorant and foolish. We're not doing that. I'm giving people a heads up because you can't say you didn't know. A fool speaks because they want something to say. Wisdom speak because she has something to say. A fool speak because they want to say something. Excuse me. It's the opposite. Hey, Hope. Hey, Eileen. So the biggest protest in Super Bowl history happened on the stage, and folks are screaming it's boring or trash because it went over their head. This is what you didn't see. In the moment of having a Super Bowl party, baby, it went over my head. I get it. But as I went back, I was like, ooh, okay, let me listen to it again. Then again, the message is Blacks have always been here to entertain. Hey, Thelma Williams and User and Ivy Girl, Daryl, and Mary Jackson. Mary Jackson, what you cook over there, girl? That's a name that look like she over there making some neck bones with hot sauce, girl. Hey, Anita. Hey, Nicole and Anita. So the biggest thing is don't get worked up about what you didn't get in the moment, right? People taking that and running with it. So the message is if Blacks have always been here to entertain, they who are not like us, so they aren't bored. That's a big thing. People kept saying they was bored. That they have a right to say what they want to say, right? We're not gonna fight that. They rather have Wade up here high, who has backdraped the system. It's always a token person. That's just like some of y'all on y'all jobs, right? A lot of them have their token little black person so that they can hide behind the fact that they're not discriminating or have some racism going on. Y'all know there's nothing new under the sun, so quit acting like it's personal. Take the blueprint of life and walk it out. The screen to keep it alive in TikTok, please. Child, this puzzle be getting me. Tap the screen to keep it alive. Hey, Big Mama. Tap the screen because it's trying to say we not on here to keep it live, okay? I'm seeing you guys over here. All right. I see y'all in Facebook. Put your name in the comments. I don't want to miss anything you guys are saying. I'm navigating two screens. So welcome, whoever that is in here. Welcome, 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 welcome. So we are breaking it down. Tap the screen, please. I'll have to tap it myself. Y'all over here trying to do some stuff. Okay. All right. So they rather have up there having, okay, so they rather have Wayne up here high who has backdraped, which is a system to push the agenda. The message Kendrick sent to America could not use Wayne. It even started with the American flag being built out of Black people as America being built on the backs of Black people. Before I mentioned how being cool in our culture has always been stolen, no matter how many people try to steal it, they not like us. It wasn't about white people. It was about the people who control the media and the labels who create divide. He says, but here it goes. It started with I don't know if I can say that on TikTok. It started off with DEAD president's intro beat flow, bigger than hip hop, quote unquote. I'll put the video in the comments, he said. The first song, when I hear music, it makes me dance. Squabble Up, New Order. Uncle Sam Jackson started it off with the rules of the game of historical white America. Historical white America. So that's Uncle Sam. Then it said, with a bunch of Blacks hanging out on the corner, it's too deep for the culture. Somebody got a DIE. Some of y'all was raised, right? Where we hang out. I went to, I think, where did I go? Harlem. I got to see the Stoops. And last summer, I think it was July, went to Brooklyn, Harlem. I was so like excited to see that, and everybody from Harlem was like, we still kick it like that. Like the whole street was blocked off by the local radio station. Elders and young people eating and cutting hair and braiding Big Mama hair. You had Melva's Soul Food Restaurant packed out. People dancing. They had sofas in the street just set up like a little lounge area. One corner of young people was beatboxing. The other corner they was doing the break dancing. Like this was in July. For some of y'all from from Harlem, I really was like, I felt like I was in a Spike Lee movie. Like really, I was like, this is how they kick it like this, right? It brought me back to the era in which I was raised, where the old and the young, played well together. Dominoes, good music, good food. Everybody supporting each other. I was like, wow, I really never knew that the culture resides in Harlem Strong. That I had a good time, and I will visit again if the Lord say the same. So that was that community and a deep culture. So what this young man is saying, like, this is team too good. So we got to interrupt the program. We got to deduct life at this point and create an environment that cancels each other out. So when you're thinking about in the context of what they're breaking down, if I have a token person, right? The Squid Games, if I have a token person, just like y'all, some of y'all say, yeah, they got their token person at work. They give him or her everything and all of the perks, just so if we go to court and be held accountable, we can at least say we got a few of them sprinkled through here that we're doing right. So the Squid Games start with symbolism of rich, unaliving the poor for entertainment. Rich, unaliving the poor for entertainment. And he goes to say, imagine rappers beefing and unaliving and the media benefiting from their unalivement. Somebody say, As my grandson's like, Take that in. This is not about blacks fighting off for, like, biting off white people heads and white people fight. Like, of course, there's some of that in there, but we don't want to miss the opportunity of bridging some gaps. And before we start bringing other people in, we in-house right now. It's not inclusion. It's not bringing you in to the, we're not doing all that. We've been doing that too long. They got to figure their stuff out. But what I'm saying is, imagine. Come on now. Come on. You can't be. Somebody trying to call in. Hold on. But though, let's let that pull over. I don't know what that is. Hey Tina, how you doing, sweetheart? Hey Jova Woods and Willis Moody. Child, these calls trying to come in. Bernice Brown, how you doing, sweetheart? And Catherine Morbid. Okay. So y'all follow? Okay, so we got, oh my goodness, this boy that used my phone and then log out and it's going up. So he started off with the rules of the game of historical white America. That's Uncle Sam, Samuel Earl Jackson. When a bunch of blacks hanging out on the corner is too deep for the culture. It's too much like right, as they say, minister. Somebody got to what? Go away. We got to deduct life at this point and create an environment to cancel each other out. The Squid Game start with symbolizing how the rich is unaliving the poor for entertainment. And we left off with, imagine rappers beefing and unaliving and the media benefiting from it. Y'all hear me all the time say, hey, Ursula, the same people that sell the panic sell the pill in the pharmaceutical industry. That's the same context. If you don't have no coverage, you from the hood coming out rapping and all of that. But if I put you on and give you space on the media, beefing, so we can capitalize on that, benefit off of us ripping each other head off. Same thing y'all see with Diddy and them. He's low-hanging fruit. We put you in the game on this level. Some of y'all grew up in the 80s. The pimp game, the Cadillacs, the suicide doors and all that. People call themselves pimps in the neighborhood or whatever they was doing. They wasn't on the level as what you see in Hollywood. They've been doing that for years. He messed around and found out. He broke code. It has nothing to do with the attack on human trafficking. It was what y'all see with 47. A business deal gone bad, so I'm finna make a whole ruckus out of everything. Nobody care about nobody quality of life, safety, and all of this. This is why y'all can't be sitting up picking and choosing if you're going to start your business or not. Can't be sitting up saturated and scrolling through life and tapping out on life and then telling your kids to go to school every day for the American dream. so they won't be like you. Why are you getting them up at 5 or 6 in the morning to go into a school system and you're not a part of their educational process? That means you start now. Because they're not getting the actual tools on the level that they need to get it until you level up. So if we can sit up here and cancel culture, somebody, this too much kicking it. This too much of us getting along. This too much of them going across town to G-Buck store and this G-Buck sales is so high. G-Buck finna get a whole store in California now. That's too much. Oh, and he don't have to go to the loan people and get some of our dollars. Wait a minute. Hold on. What they gonna assume? G-Buck must got some dirty money. He get funded with some dirty money. No, we messed around and found out. We're powerful human beings. And like you say, Kendrick Lamar breaking it down like, hey, this systemic issue been spitting in our face all along to keep us at each other. All right? So we got to deduct life and create an environment to cancel each other out. That's what happened. Remember, when rapping came out, it wasn't favorable. It was this. Everybody got to be a role model. Until it start making a crap load of money. Then you get people from the hood desperate trying to get out. Let me be your token. That's what he's saying about Drake. You the token person. Selling your soul. Right? So you a part of cancel culture. Getting this the West Coast to fight the East Coast. With something was so beautiful that they said wasn't worth nothing. Now it's on commercials. Imagine that. And guess what? People were so desperate, they bought their rights out. So by the time it went on the commercial for the cars and all of the different things and playing in the banks and all of these institutions with the high-rise buildings, that person that needed to get it at the time, they got what they could get. They didn't know what they didn't know. They're not getting royalties on a lot of this stuff. If we can capitalize off of it, then we're going to front the token one to go out and be the game face. That's why y'all see they legalized marijuana. Ask me how many brothers was in the prison where I worked that had cases. Also weed cases. Hey, Natasha, how you doing, sweetheart? Right? They didn't go back and change things around and pardon folks like Biden and the different ones can do with their little relatives and this old clown running around. Let's deduct life and create an environment to cancel each other out. So the Squid Game start with symbolism of the rich unaliving the poor for entertainment. Imagine rappers beefing and unaliving and the media benefiting from their unalivement. The system allows, I'm just telling you what he put, and y'all can take it for what it is, but this is what I'm talking about. Educating yourself. Frederick Douglass. Some of y'all, you're going to have to go back to history with your family. Talk to people that know. And then instead of being consumed with all of this stuff, you need to take yourself back to history class on your own terms and get really, really understanding. This is going to help a lot of y'all stop viewing your blackness in the way that you have. Because we don't know what we don't know. All right? Some of y'all is not really they said that it's not complying. The message from TikTok is not complying. It is what it is. Make sure y'all on the email list. Because a lot of us don't believe there's a stark connection between what I believe about myself as a woman, as a man, as a child, and all my blackness and what that represents in this country. You believe you're not feeling good about yourself or worthy and all of that is disconnected from your blackness. Don't matter what side of the track you was raised on. Don't matter if your mom and daddy still married and it was happy with the whole farm and the ranch and the acres and the mule. You're still looked at as a ninja in this country. And so sometimes when you go on the journey and don't recognize the implicit heaviness of racism, the R word. I don't know what TikTok allow anymore. As long as the mic is on, I have something to share, hopefully to disrupt your cognitive distortions that step down to visit us. Sometimes it's not always favorable. And so you can start unlocking when you look at the social fiber of this country to make you and I constantly wake up and believe that we're so jacked up. Okay? So in this context, we're talking about how the system allowed, and this is what the young man put. The system allowed Drake to push Sexyy Red to tank the culture and empowers him. So he's saying, like, here you are as this token person being paid off, the powers that be give you some money and continue to put garbage out. So the dancers in the red, white, and blue representing the American flag been dancing to the drums of the system. That's symbolic, right? So the dancers, we have the red, white, and blue representing the American flag. In other words, we've been dancing to the drums of the system. What's entertainment for some people is noise to some of us. Like I said, if you heard me say, depending on your experience, your Black experience, your experience in life, some of y'all can call 911 and it can be a sign of rescue to come help. Some of us can call 911 and it could be a sign of trouble. You can't argue with people's lived experience. We also can't argue the fact that other people and other races may have the same experience. But for my non-Black people, this is what you got to understand. It's not our job to tell your story. I have people all the time when you said something and it had to do with Blacks and, you know, I was raised the same way, baby, that's probably your truth, but that's not my job you have to come out of hiding, because I'm sure if you're a white person or an Asian or a brown person, it could be hurtful to you that every time you experience my Black experience and you can relate with it, you feel like, well, where do I fit in? Because I don't fit in with my white folks, for the white people that's saying that. But then the Black people think I'm a part of them. So I have biracial nieces and nephews. So I get it. We talk about this all the time. And I tell them the same thing. You got to use your voice if God is telling you to go out and create community around that so you can be supported. That's not fair for you to get in my DMs and believe that I'm disrespecting you. I'm just telling you, I'm not the person that's biting every white person head off. Even as a Black woman, I'm not in the whole season of even explaining that, because that's exhausting. But I understand that if I'm a bridge gapper between community and this work, that's the conversation that needs to be had. Right? Because we're not always going to be sitting up and trying to include everybody. That's been our pathology for a long time. So when you know that you biracial or you have these set of experiences where you don't align with this side of your race or ethnicity, and you don't align over here, God have you somewhere in between the middle or over here, then that's for you to go to God and say, what is this all about? You didn't allow this to happen just to make me experience pain for nothing. What is the power and the power move and the level up and the elevation and the learning and the teaching and the growing and evolvement that I'm supposed to do with this? Don't go online looking for that. That's between you and God in that intimate space, right? But that's what you see, the Lord having us all. I've been in rooms where people, all different life experiences, are starting to talk and understand each other. And we're saying, hey, Sister Ashley, hey, Sister Luggy, hey, Janet, we're not biting each other's heads off. We're understanding one another. So even through obstacles, there's opportunities that you can see how God, for the person who wants to understand, learn, heal, grow in love. This has no application to the fool. I'm going to keep saying that till the wheels fall off. Because the fool wants trouble. They search for it. They speak it. They want chaos. They want the yelling and the screaming and the misunderstandings and everybody is all this way and everybody. We're not here for the fools. Okay? So keep that in mind. So when he talking about the dancers in red, white, and blue represent the American flag, and how we've been dancing to the drums of the system, and we want entertainment to be able to dance than to educate. The main stage was a PlayStation, the Squid Game card, and a system is a game designed to keep us dancing and in prison, which is why it was a prison yard. Protecting Black women like Serena Williams after the disrespect from Drake. Y'all seen Serena Williams? And once again, reminding the system of Drake in America, they plants are not like us, can't infiltrate the culture. So then the part about game over, TV off, been under their control, revolution. So this young man, he goes to write, Drake being used to further sour the system and be a plant for the same system Malcolm X warned about from the music execs who own media and use it to divide us. This is bigger than rap. And women who feel disrespected should see it. People who are tired of being divided should see it. You notice how he did the American flag, how it was divided. But most of all, those who didn't have a lens to see it just shows the system worked. This is where you see people minimizing it. Oh, you're doing too much. It's too deep. These are the people that typically they just surfacey people, baby. I never said they were bad. Maybe they the person that slept in history class because history wasn't their thing. They have no vested interest in learning anything, right? Like, if it doesn't bother my address, I don't need to see it. Once it hit my address, then you run into the community. That's not a leader, because the leaders show up even when it's cool at your address. So if a person don't have the lens and you minimize it, then that means it's been working. So then you water it down. You don't make a connection from the the cultural fiber that we've all experienced, our grandparents and great grandparents experienced. You make no connection between now and then. That's what the avoidant person does. I don't want to deal. I just rather just keep dancing away. My address good. I don't have the issues with my job. I could buy all the eggs. Right? Like, what is all this noise about? It has nothing to do with me, right? Although their kids go to school with 80% of the people that it's affecting. So it's everybody's business. So basically, the young man is saying, dude is the most creative genius in hip hop history, but go off. Maybe we can see more well-respected entrepreneurs and family men leading. Here is the kicker. Look at your Facebook friends. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Here's the kicker. Look at your Facebook friends who say that they wish it was more entertaining. Yeah, they were who it's been working on. The system rather keep you choosing entertainment over being educated. Watch the first 10 seconds of his rap. Unalive President's reference to bigger than hip hop. Bigger than hip hop. Rappers sent as plants to hurt us will no longer be tolerated. We are woke. If you're bad at it, please don't complain about being looked at a certain way because you want to bounce to entertainers who promote unaliving each other and degrading our women. I guess America thinks it's okay too. Hey, Sound Mind Coach. Watch the comments flip up with nothing will change. Watch the comments say nothing will change from people who are okay waiting for it to change versus doing their part. That is so powerful. That is so powerful. We have to do our part. Even when COVID started and I started documenting the journey for my offsprings, I started thinking about all the things I heard during the Watts riots. I wasn't born yet. And all the history books of the schools being taken away. In my mind, I'm history. I'm not going to wait for a history book. I'm dead and gone. Hit the school systems or not, and let it be told in a way that filters the bigger thing. That's the same for you guys. There's a history book inside of you. Are you writing things down for your offsprings? Are you adding contextual scriptures that got you through as an auntie? You might not have kids right now. This is where we're talking about. You don't sit on the front porch and wait till they get it done, right? For some of y'all that's not African American, how are you educating your kids? Because some of my white friends, they like, Tasha, I don't know what to say, how to say. I don't even know if y'all want, if a person don't want to be called Black versus African American, that's valid, right? But they trust me to be able to ask me, and I say, you know what I do? Because white is just white. And then you got people, I'm part this, and but baby, I ain't got time for the fractions. I just don't. Just tell me your name. You want me to call you Jasmine? I don't have a need to know your ethnicity in everyday conversation, maybe. But I know when I was down in home visits and on journeys with different races and culture and ethnicities, I don't assume that this person is this or that. I'm a student of their education. What would you like to be referred as? Some people culturally, they want to serve you up water or something to drink or eat. And I'm over here like, I don't know, right? But I'm learning from them. If they say that they identify with, this certain ethnicity, that's just what it is. Do you want me to call you Hispanic or a Latino, a Latina? Let me know, because I can't assume that everybody want to be called Black versus African American. So you just ask if that needs to come up. That is how we overcome misunderstandings, by asking. So nothing will change people in the comments. They just waiting on the front porch. They kind of like lean on the side of a fool. Like we've categorized ignorance and fools all up in one bubble over here. So the point he was making was, come to this post in 24 hours and watch how many of us are fighting the message and the messenger versus thinking positive growth to move forward. Positive growth to move forward. Hazards press your awareness. Look how many of us get to talk. They get an understanding. Isn't that powerful? The fact that this young man did the halftime show, whether the team boring versus team bring it on, it still got us talking, praise God. Extending grace to one another, getting an understanding from one another. Because let's face it, it's very exhausting seasons right now. People trying to get through their 8 hours. People trying to be the best mother that they know that they called to be, and doubting themselves all at the same time. People trying to pray that their car make it until they get their income taxes, to get the fan belt fixed or whatever needs to be fixed to keep it going. So we don't want to be out here. It say you don't expect sucking and jiving and twerking from a polarized prize artist who was the first rapper ever to get it. You appreciate art, and art is boring, but it changes culture. So what is you guys' feedback on that? I thought that was really another example of how amazing we take our skill sets and be able to learn and leverage that instead of making yourself believe that you have to master all of it, right? That is amazing. Tap the screen to keep it alive. Facebook, we are going to give you, let me give you the link You guys can come up in the box for a few minutes. I want you guys to come on up if you just want to talk. Be respectfully. Come on up and let me know your feedback, where you are on your life journey as far as not taking in a whole lot of heaviness. How are you taking care of yourself? Are you a person that's not even leaning in heavy to all of this stuff and just kind of focused on where God have you? I like to hear from you guys. Come on up. You don't have to be a subscriber today to come up. Come on up.